This once again is Wespool on Talkn Clix. Today I'm joined by my friend Jay Patel. How are you today, sir?
Well, thank you. And yourself?
Great.
Aside from having lost my voice.
They sound good to me.
Thanks.
Today we're going to talk to Jay. On a short time schedule, so we're going to try to move through it quickly. But Jay, I have developed the Clix questionnaire with the help of AI and the almighty Kevin to really get to know the Heroclix players. Are you ready to be known?
Almighty Kevin?
Yes, the Kevin.
Okay.
Are you ready to be known?
Yep, ready when you are.
All right. What is the best sandwich?
Ooh. Um, I would say probably chicken parm for me. That or a uh just a BLT, but since I don't eat pork, it would have to be turkey bacon.
All right. So you are a very busy person. What's your day job?
I work in sales management,
Okay.
and I think I want to just leave it at that.
Okay. So you've been married for how long?
I've been with my wife since we got married September 6th, 2019, and we've been together since a year prior to that.
Okay. And how'd you guys meet?
We actually met on Bumble. So funny story. We both met on Bumble. We both were going to ditch our first date, and that ended up not happening because my roommate at the time convinced me, "Hey, you should go because you're a grouch when you're home alone like this." And her sister is the one that convinced her to go.
Cool. So I know you guys don't currently have any children, but I've heard that you are looking into it.
I actually do have a child. I have a
Oh,
13-year-old daughter.
oh, I did not know that. See, my
Uh, yeah,
information is
see,
false.
so obviously my ex and I are separated,
Okay.
and part of our agreement is that we not share much about her on social media simply because she's a big introvert. Two,
Right.
um, you know, with us having split custody of her, we don't want to make it seem like there's any problems with me showing pictures, her showing pictures, and then portraying completely different lifestyle because we do have very completely different lifestyles. So we don't want to have to cause any issues for my daughter with that.
Right. That's fair. But I understand you are looking to expand your family soon.
Yeah, we're working on adoption. In fact, just before this call, I completed the paperwork for the OCI, which is Overseas Citizen of India, so that it can expedite our adoption a little bit.
Oh, that's awesome. I know that
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago you
lengthy
were just
process, but
yeah. Well, a couple weeks ago you were just in India to work on the process too, right?
mhm.
That's awesome.
Short trip, but came back, got at least some of the paperwork filed, and then now we found out, hey, in order to speed up the process from having it be anywhere between 2 to 3 years to like 6 to 9 months, if you were an OCI card holder, it would help. So now we're going through that. Fortunately, that entire process is virtual, so it makes our life much easier.
That's awesome. I'm there's so many children out there that need good homes, and I'm sure that you and your wife will be amazing parents. I just I don't think there's enough people out there adopting, so that's
I
great.
will say her probably more than me because she has infinite more patience than I do.
Well, you've been very patient with me as we've gotten to know each other. So did you grow up in India?
I grew up there until I was 11. Then I moved to yeah, then I moved to United States on September 25th, 1998.
Awesome.
And then from there, moved to Chicago first, then Chicago to Iowa, Iowa to specifically Bettendorf, Iowa, Bettendorf to Boise, Boise to Seattle.
So are you a citizen now, or are you? How's that?
Seattle, and I'm staying here, just
But
staying here.
are you an
I
American
have no
citizen now?
intentions to move. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Since I was 17 years old. So funny story with that. Not a lot of people know that my legal name is Joy, and I mean even down here you see Jay Patel. And I've tried to get my name changed like 5 times, and each time there was until I was 17, it was or until I was 18, it was, hey, your parents get to decide since you're still a minor. And it infuriated me so much. And one of those times was when I became a US citizen. Yeah,
Cool.
my mom's a hippie and she was like, "Oh, you bring joy to our lives. We're gonna name you Joy." And like, God damn it, mother, throw you into a volcano.
One of my favorite questions, and so far nobody's gotten it right, is what number am I thinking of?
42.
No.
I
All right.
I'd never claimed to be a psychic, and I really don't ever want to be.
How did you discover HeroClix?
So I had a friend in Boise that actually introduced me to it. We both went to the convention, and he went and tried it out the day that it was being demoed. I was busy. I was busy doing other things while he was doing that. After he got done, he was like, "Hey, come check this game out." And they were demoing Infinity Challenge figures still. So I tried it. The very first figure I played with was the Ultron number 100, the one that was 137 points, the experienced, and I was hooked.
That's awesome.
So I've been with the game since the beginning.
So, I've heard of a lot of stories of people that have come and gone over the years. What has kept you in the game this long?
So I've come and gone from the game as well. I've taken several hiatuses. There were a couple of times where I did sell my collection as well and then rebuilt it. And that was all before 2010, before I moved up here to Seattle. What's kept me with it has honestly been the growth of the game, and just how much more accessible it's become. Like, I know the rules have gotten harder at times, but there was times where it was much easier to find in stores, where events were being run so frequently everywhere. And then, of course, post-COVID, everything took a dive. But even after that, I've got a really good local community here that I play with, and honestly, that's what still keeps me attached to the game. That being said, I've also had a pretty significant growth with HeroClix over time. So, um, initially, up until like 2014, I only played like super casually. I just played at my local events. Um, 2014, I started attending local competitive events. And then, when WKOs and rock stuff started, I actually started going to those as well. In fact, my first rock that I went to, it was in Boise, Idaho. And it was because I was visiting my mom. I took a Blue Lantern team that was centered around oh gosh, Ricochet, giving him the sniper rifle so that he could shoot from my starting area into my opponent's starting area. And each of my opponents, I caught them by a surprise. They're like, wait, what's going on? Um, but I ended up in second place on that one, um, which felt really nice. But went into playing more competitively. Then from playing more competitively, went into actually organizing just locally. Beyond organizing, then went to organizing competitive events. And now, I've joined up with uh, joined up with staff, and will hopefully be doing more supporting more organized events by Wizkids.
Great. One of my favorite things in getting to know you over the last few months is your incredible sense of humor. Do you have a favorite joke offhand that you want to share with the audience?
Okay, so this is one that I'd actually shared with two people at Adepticon. Um, how much does it cost a pirate to get their ear pierced?
I don't know how much.
Buccaneer. It was so hard to keep myself contained with that, let me tell you.
for the audience out there, Jay likes to just randomly at night send me a voice text where he is hilariously breaking up laughing. Just he cannot get the words out. He's laughing so hard, and he gets the joke out. And usually, my wife is sitting next to me, and she goes, "Oh."
Listen, there's some people that I share the puns with because, well, I know those people appreciate them, you being one of them.
Well, I do. I love good pun. And I make my
Also, the pickup lines, the shitty pickup lines.
yep. I make my wife suffer through them with me. One of the questions I like to ask that throws people off a little bit is the Thanos question. So
Um,
Thanos has come. He's got the Infinity Stones. He snaps his fingers, and you're in the same position as Hawkeye, where your wife and children have disappeared. You don't know they're coming back. They're just gone. So you moved on with your life, and then 5 years later, they are suddenly back. How do you try to pick up where things left off 5 years ago, or do you try to integrate them into your new life? How do you work that out?
so it's funny you mentioned this. Most of my local friends have heard me say this to my wife, and it is, if you want to kill me, by all means, just tell me ahead of time so that I can write you a suicide letter so you don't have to go to jail. And when I do, she'll joke around with me on that. And then she's asked me this question one time, not in the same way, but I've
Right.
told her, if something happens where I lose you, my daughter, and then any of our future kids, I'm gonna go live in the mountain because then I can just enjoy my peace. I don't have to deal with the world. Now, if they were to come back, yeah, I love my wife so much. I'd spend all the time with her.
Great.
And same goes with my daughter, my dogs as well.
You're the first person I've ever asked that that's not been completely thrown off by it.
Only because my wife has asked me that question before.
What do you put on vanilla ice cream?
Nothing. Vanilla ice cream is a flavor that can be enjoyed by itself because vanilla actually is a pretty complex flavor.
Ah, that's a good answer. Do you have other hobbies in HeroClix, or is it pretty much just HeroClix?
Uh, okay, so I've played Digimon in the past, and I stopped collecting around BT 15. So 18 sets in, I stopped collecting. And just 3 days ago, I decided I'm actually going to get rid of my collection. Unfortunately, I seem to have been sucked back into Magic Commander. Um, 4 weeks ago, wasn't even considering it. Now I have 4 decks already. I have an Iron Man secret layer on the way so that I can build a deck with that. Um, I have a Storm secret layer coming so that I can build a deck with that. And then I'm also just working on building an artifact deck because I have no self-control when it comes to my hobbies. But other than that, like I do enjoy video games when I'm home.
Funny story about MTG is I am all about Deadpool. I'm all things Deadpool. I'm here for it.
Yep.
And a friend of mine sent me a
I saw that
picture.
you saw the new secret layer.
Yep. And a friend of mine sent that to me, and I said, "Nope. Even Deadpool can't get me into Magic the Gathering. It's not my thing. So if
So
Deadpool can't do it, what's that?
I used to play competitively until 2013, and in 2013 I had $32,000 worth of
Wow.
just decks, not the collection stolen from a store. So I was like, "Yep, I'm done. I'm not spending years rebuilding those decks because
Wow.
I'd been building them since '98. When I first moved to United States, I moved in with a cousin for like the first month so that we could get settled in, go get my social security card and all that. And he was the one that introduced me. So, 15 years of cards that I had collected, 15 years of decks that I had built that I'd modified gone. So I was like, yep, not getting back into this again. Then a year later, I built 4 commander decks because some of my locals wanted to play with some of my locals, Heroclix players, and then also a few friends wanted to play. So I was like, okay, I'll burn this bridge again. I built 4 commander decks. Those were stolen from a local store. Uh, the collection of decks was stolen from a tournament.
Wow.
So when those 4 commander decks were stolen, uh, the store outright said, "Yeah, we have cameras, but we're not even going to check it." So I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm done." And then I stayed away from Magic up until, like I said, 4 weeks ago. And it's because I have a friend from here who's visiting United States for the next, I want to say, until July. And he's been back to the States for about 7 months now.
Mm-hmm.
He and I used to play Magic together at one point, and he's like, "Hey, I'd love to play with you." And he was going to come to Adepticon as well, and do the Commander event together, which is why I built the Commander decks that I did. And then he ended up not going. And I was like, "God damn it, Devin, you sucked me back into Commander, and then you didn't even show up to play."
Oh,
Yeah.
good story. So moving on to Heroclix a little bit. Who is your favorite Heroclix content creator?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Um, and the reason it's a tough question is because I don't generally have the time to watch very much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in fact, even the Scott's videos that are put out, I don't get to actually watch the full videos, as they're being released. Like usually on the weekend is when I'll catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of the ones that I do get to watch the videos of every now and oh, there's a very clear answer to this. It's the set design videos that Calder was doing for a while there,
Oh,
where he'd be like, "Hey, I hear you have a new set for us," and then conversation back and forth with Wizkid designer. Yeah, the skit that he did there, yeah, that is my absolute favorite.
great. So are you
In fact, I
familiar?
even messaged him about it.
Are you familiar then with the different HeroClix personalities out there, like um, Aqua Miles and Rebgorn and Wespool?
Uh, Westpool, yes, that's you.
Yeah,
Um, Aqua Miles, yes, he's like 4 hours away from me. I've,
yeah.
seen him at a few tournaments. So yeah, I've seen them at, I mean, yes, familiar with them.
Okay.
Also met him at Worlds.
So this is a two-sided question. One, are you Team Aqua Miles or Team Westpool? And then what would be your superhero alter ego?
Ooh, okay, so I can't say I'm Team Aqua Mouse or Westpool because I enjoy talking with both of you for different reasons. And I can't pick a favorite. Yes, even though I'm on your channel right now, I'm still not going to say I can pick a favorite, pick you as my favorite. I
Fair.
enjoy my interactions with both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, ooh, I've never thought of a superhero handle for myself, and I don't think I'd be a superhero. I think I'd go supervillain very
Oh,
quickly if I got powers. Like, yes, there's the whole, be nice and help people, but I'm uh I'm a little selfish, and I'm pretty sure I wouldn't do that.
would you have more mystical powers, mutant powers, technology based?
Probably technology based.
So you'd be like a Lex Luthor.
Not that far. Definitely not that far. Um, let's see. Probably closer to like grid.
Okay, cool. Um, are you planning on attending Red, White, and Clicks in November?
As much as I'd like to, I can't. Usually November is when I'm actually traveling for work.
Mm-hmm.
The first 3 weeks. So as much as I'd like to, I won't be able to.
Am I free to tell the audience your involvement with Red Wing Clicks?
By all means.
Okay. Jay has volunteered to design two unique maps for Red Wing Clicks. One will be a BR map from the outside of the armory where the event takes place, and he's designing a very unique outlay of the building and the parking lot. And it's going to be a very unique BR style map, and then more standard one of the inside of the armory where the event takes place. And it is so detailed and so good that when Jay only showed me like a 2x2 square of the map, and I showed my wife, she thought it was a photograph. It's that
It
good.
was 3x2
Oh, 3x2.
that I sent you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
my wife was convinced
if
it was a photograph. She's like, "You didn't draw that."
if you don't mind me sharing, I can actually tell what it is.
Yes, absolutely.
So, it's a Hummer that it's a Hummer that's going to be two different levels of elevation just with how the inside is being designed. And it was specifically the Hummer, which took me a long time to do. Just getting all the details on it right, paying attention to what the front would look like, and making sure to incorporate that in an aerial view to where you can tell it's a Hummer, specifically a military style Hummer or Humvee. Um, Having it look appropriate to that. And that took the longest time to accomplish. And the rest of that, getting, the table set up, the logo, and the other features that are in the map, much easier. The Hummer took me, I want to say, close to 30 hours to get correct.
Well, it's worth it.
But
It looks amazing. And
I'm
go ahead.
glad you're looking forward to it.
Yes. If anybody needs Jay to keep a secret, he's a great secret keeper. That 3x2 square is the only amount of the map that I've seen. He's kept it locked tight, and so even I haven't seen the whole thing yet. But I'm real excited for it.
You will see it when I'm done adding the terrain lines to it. And I'm actually going to spend the right amount of time making sure it's done correctly.
Well, I'm so grateful for your help. So
Happy to
now that
help.
what was that?
Happy to help.
Appreciate it. Now that Beetlejuice has been out for a minute and everybody's had their takes on Beetlejuice as his impact on the game, originally the sky was falling, just like Heroclix players say the sky's falling every other week. But now he's been out for a while. Where do you fall with Beetlejuice? Are you pro Beetlejuice, anti Beetlejuice?
Um, I It depends on the environment. In casual, I probably wouldn't bring Beetlejuice simply because I'm there to have fun with friends.
Mm-hmm.
On a competitive side, I'd say I'm pro Beetlejuice just because of how much he changes how the game is played. Now I suddenly can't running shot pulse wave with Hadari for 3 damage on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Great, but having been on the other side of that, where Beetlejuice effed up my Black Lantern's team strategy. Not a big fan of it, but I do see and enjoy how much he can change up the game, and then having to rethink your entire strategy off of it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good answer. What has been your proudest moment in HeroClix so far?
Um, this was way back in the day before we started getting cards on figures. I had a checkmate agent that had dual target, 8 range, um, and I had armor piercing on it just because of the event we were playing. Um, and my opponent had KC Superman and KC Magog on the same team, despite them having the arch enemy base. And the checkmate agent was the last one left on my team, and I decided, hey, I'm gonna make the attack. He was still on top click, decided to target both, and I made a crit hit with the armor piercing that managed to get both of them. And I want to say that is probably my proudest moment. Now,
Oh,
the obvious answer should be being the BR champ last year at Adepticon, but really just that was my very first time actually winning a locals event, so that is my proudest moment.
now you were at Adepticon this year, correct?
I was,
But
yes.
not for Heroclix.
Nope, I was doing the Star Trek Into the Unknown Learn to Play demos.
So I'm a huge Trekkie, but I have not experienced that game yet. How is it compared to HeroClix?
Um, I mean, it's a whole different beast. The one similarity that they both have is that both have a lot of symbols that you have to learn, and there's a very big complexity to the game. That's where similarities stop. Aside from that, like movement is completely different, attacking is completely different. That said, the one thing that I enjoy about the game a lot is that one, it is scenario based, and two, it has a very similar flow to how the episodes went in Star Trek. So,
Oh,
having seen very few episodes of Star Trek, you know, the rhythm of the episodes was usually they come into the system, they have an objective that they're trying to accomplish, and the enemy is trying to usually undermine them and do the same thing for their side. That
right.
turns into, hey, something is going wrong with the mission we're trying to accomplish, and now our objective is completely changed, and all hell breaks loose. The game actually follows that sequence really well.
Cool. Is it
And
pretty
I'd say
expensive?
that's probably my favorite thing. I'm sorry.
Is it an expensive game?
The starter is I think 150, or not the starter. The base game is I think $150. And that's not bad for everything that you get in them. Um, at Adepticon, the Defiance style ship was given out, and those are really nice. Um, but I'd say it's probably worth that $150 investment.
Cool.
And the gameplay is so different in each game that you play that you could be playing the same scenario and it will not play out the same way.
Neat.
So it's very versatile.
Awesome. I may actually look into that. If you were to add a power to the PAC, what would you add and why?
Ooh. Um, Fusillade, which would basically be range flurry, capital range make, two range attacks.
That's actually been my consistent response to that also. I like that.
Another one would probably be reinvigorate, which would be similar to incapacitate, but would remove an action token after making an attack on a friendly character.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What's a figure that or a character that's been clicked a lot but has never really gotten the flavor of the source material?
Um, it, I don't know if there's any that I can think of right off the top of my head. Maybe Iron Man, and even then, like a lot of the representations we have are really good.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't highlight the intelligence of Tony Stark. It's all about the armor and the weaponry. So I'd
Right.
say that would probably be my answer.
That's a good answer. Yeah, I felt that way about Flash too. That they focus so much everything, not everything, just like TV and movies all focus on him being a speedster, and only once in the Flash TV show in the pilot did they uh, focus on his intelligence and his investigative abilities. Then it just became a Flash show. So I'd like to see that too. Just not just in clicks, but in everything. That it's not just the superhero. The person behind the superhero matters too.
Right.
Um, trying to scroll through my questions because I know we're out now of time. What is a character that you gravitate towards for team building?
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet.
Hands down, Scarlet Witch. Of all media, all books, TV shows, and not just Marvel related, everything else too. Um, Fantasy, no matter what I go towards, Scarlet Witch is my absolute favorite character just because she's tragically delicious. And um, so, yeah, anytime I'm building a force, she's usually the first one where I start, which seeing that new 400, the Caps Cookie Quartet,
Oh,
I
she's
was like,
so good.
well, there's my new favorite Scarlet
Oh
Witch
my
that I'm going to abuse the
goodness.
hell out of.
And then throw in a copycat pog with that. Oh, so good.
I hadn't considered that, but yes. Yes.
Just double all the support powers for 15 points.
Uh-huh. For 25 points. She's so dumb.
Oh,
She's so ridiculous. I love her.
that's awesome. Well, I think that's all the time we have today, but I'd like to have you back sometime to talk more if that's okay with you.
Sounds good. I think there was a couple of questions in the Discord server.
Oh, did I miss that?
They were just posted there like 45 minutes ago
Okay.
or so.
Let me look here. Oh, yep. All right. Kevin. I don't know who Kevin is, but not a planted question. What are some of your best HeroClix pickup lines for your wife?
Okay, so I said this one to my wife and to Az yesterday, but it was, hey, is your superpower facing teleport? Because you've moved through my barrier and into my heart.
Oh,
I'd say, and there's something with plat. Hold on just a second. I need to message my wife this. Excuse me. This is incredibly rude being on my phone during our call, but hey, baby, is your is your speed power plasticity? Is you sure have a way of keeping me next to you?
and for the
Oh,
audience, that giggling he does that with every joke.
th this one was more contained. It was
Yes,
so difficult to contain myself, but yes.
yes, I love your jokes. And Kevin also asked, why were you afraid to defend your BR title this year at Adepticon?
I wasn't afraid of it. I was working the entire weekend. Although I think Ryan said that at some point he'd like to organize a BR with all four champs. I
Ooh,
think just different events over the course of this year, um, and then maybe even next year.
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun to play in a BR with myself, Ricardo, um, and then whoever the other two are when those events happen.
That would be awesome. Well, Jay, this was a condensed version of the Clix questionnaire. Now that the HeroClix community is inside your head, how does it feel?
I mean, it's always been inside my head since 2019, actively more in my head since then.
Now the whole community knows you, and we all love you. So thank you so much for making time for me. I know you're extremely busy. I would love to have you back and talk to you more in the future.
I would be glad to be on there. I know my shower time is cut a little short before I go into work in just a little bit here, but yeah, I look forward to our future chats, and yeah, next time I have longer to be actually
All right.
on the call with you.
For all you out there, keep on clixing. Hey everybody, thanks for watching today. If you like what you see, make sure you check out those social media accounts listed down below for Discord, for Facebook, for Podbean, and for YouTube. And if you really like what you see here, you can always join my Patreon account. I'm always looking for new guests. If you want to be on the show, make sure you reach out to me. And I look forward to seeing you out there. And as always, keep on clixing.